Morning folks, this is Archer's Paradox, and this morning we are not going to reload some rifle cartridges. This morning we are going to reload some pistol cartridges. And today I'm going to show you my 25-year-old Dillon Square Deal B progressive reloading press. This press is 25 years old, and by my own estimates I've probably reloaded over 20,000 9mm, 38 specials, 357s, magnums, 44 magnums, 45 long colts, and 45 ACPs. So anyways, before we get started, let me just go over some of the details. I'll stop the video and get the tripod set up. Okay, so starting from the top, we have just your standard powder reservoir. To the left of that is the automatic priming tube assembly. There's a primer tube. Panning down, there's the right now I have the small charge bar in place. If you'd seen my previous video from a few days ago, I had an issue. I had the large bar in place and I'm reloading 9mm, so I could not regulate the amount of powder because I'm only dropping 4.4 grains of red dot for 115 grain jacketed hollow point. Moving downward, this is the powder drop assembly, and we'll go ahead and go through every stage here. There's only 4 stages. This stage 1 is the resizer and priming decapping stage. The second stage here is the what they call the belling of the case, since pistol cartridges are typically straight-walled cases. You know, in your rifle cartridges, you need to chamfer the case neck to allow you to somewhat easily insert the bullet or start the bullet down the case neck. On pistol cartridges, what you're doing is you're just belling or flaring the case mouth so you can easily insert the bullet. I should say stage, or I could say station. So that's station 2, and it also on the Dillons are pretty ingenious. They have a device. If I can zoom in here, this a device right here. When that contacts the top of the case, it actually pushes upwards, and it automatically cams. This is a cam mechanism that cams the powder bar to slide back and forth. Of course, this is a generation 1. If you guys have any square deals, they don't have the spring assembly anymore. So that allows the powder to drop down the powder tube into the case. And then station 3 is the bullet seater, and then station 4 is the crimp. Now on the pistol cases, with the exception of some of the larger calibers like the 44 magnums or 45 long colts, this is 9mm. On the semi-automatics, you are going to perform what they call a tapered crimp. Essentially, all you're doing is you're slightly flattening, very small thousandths of dimension, the crimp on the bullet, because semi-automatics like 9mm and 40 S&Ws and 10mm and 45 ACPs and so on, 32 ACPs, 380 ACPs, they headspace on this location on the case. So you do not want to do what they call a roll crimp, which is what you typically could see on a 44 Magnum or 45 long Colt. Let me see if I got a, let's see. Yeah, here's a good example of a roll crimp. See if I can hold this steady enough. There's a 44 Magnum, and that roll crimp actually crimps into the cantilever on a bullet. 44 Magnums, 45 long Colts, they don't headspace. Obviously you put the bullet in a cylinder And a roll crimp typically is a stronger crimp for the heavier recoiling cartridges. So anyways, let me stop the video and I'll get set up here and we'll go through the actual. Okay, I'm all set up. I have a once fired 9mm case in station 1. I have a 9mm case that's been deprimed and full length resized in station 2. I have a case that's been belled or flared and newly primed in station 3, and then I have a bullet that's been fully seated and ready to be tapered crimped. So one thing on the Dillons, when I first got this press 25 years ago, I used to make the mistake on the indexing of not pushing forward. Pushing forward on the handle, it's kind of counterintuitive. You're actually seating the primer. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull down on the handle, which raises the press. There's some resistance from the full length resizing. And then you see, I'll go slowly, see how everything auto indexes. So now a primer's been fed from below. And do you see that? Do you see how that case was moving upwards in station 2? Right here. So you'll see now I'm pushing towards the press right now to seat that primer. I can feel it seat. So then you got to grab a bullet to put in station 3. I just like to take my fingers and try to run parallel with the case to get the bullet, somewhat started straight. This isn't precision reloading like my other videos on rifle cartridges. So now those 3 stations are almost ready. I'm going to grab a once fired 9mm case. So then we just repeat the process. We'll go up slowly. Everything auto indexes. Got another bullet made. Seat the primer. Grab a piece of brass, put a bullet in place, and repeat. I'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit and we'll see what the powder drop looks like. Okay, so now we'll just look at the actual dropping of the powder. I'll go ahead and index upward. Seat the primer. Get another case loaded. Put a bullet in place in station 3. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to do the next couple rounds in not slow motion, but just to let you guys see the operation of the auto indexing and actual priming. So see how I have the handle in this position, and then I have to move forward to actually seat the primer. You see how I just take my index and forefinger and just make sure that's the bullet's somewhat parallel to the case. Years ago, my one buddy and I, we used to come down here and reload. The slowest process of this progressive press is just keeping your primer tubes filled. I think the primer tubes held like 107 primers, about that amount. So what I did, I just bought a bunch of extra primer tubes and kept them filled. I think our cyclic rate was almost 500 rounds an hour, which is pretty significant. So what you want to do is start getting a rhythm. Definitely a lot faster than a single stage. If you guys are into shooting a lot or sick of paying high dollar prices for factory ammo, I'd highly recommend getting a progressive reloading press. What I like about Dillon Precision is their no BS warranty. These guys, Mike Dillon, he's a heck of a guy. He's been in the business a while. And you pretty much, I'm reaching for an empty case with my right hand, and I've got my bullet stage on my left. A lot of times you don't even have to look. You just tactically feel what is the rim side and what is the neck size on the empty brass. And then on the bullet, obviously the bullet's shaped in a specific dimension. So anyways, I'll show you some of the 9mm I reloaded this morning. Just crank them out. So this is Archer's Paradox. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out DillonPrecision.com on the internet. I think you guys will like them. Alright,